Hey, I'm Garth.
And I'm Dave. Today we're talking about generative AI and how it's shaking up the CPA profession.
Generative AI uses algorithms to create content. How does this affect CPAs, you ask?
Think automation. It handles mundane tasks, giving CPAs more time for strategic analysis and decision making.
Reducing errors, improving efficiency. Some worry about job impact. Dave?
No replacement here. AI enhances, not replaces. The human touch in accounting is irreplaceable.
So generative AI isn't a threat, but a tool to elevate the CPA profession.
Stick around as we explore applications, benefits, and challenges.
Now, what we just presented was scripted by Chat GPT with the query, write a script between Garth and Dave, who are co-presenters introducing the topic of generative AI and the CPA profession. A fun way to get us into this topic, but also a way that brings into focus the many opportunities and challenges in using generative AI.
That's right, Garth. The topic of generative AI elicits many thoughts and emotions, and we are here today to provide insights of how this transformative technology is and will impact our CPA profession.
We will be your co-presenters in this program. My name is Garth Sharif, and I am a CPA who designs and delivers continuing education programs for over 15 years. In the last few years, a focus of my courses has been artificial intelligence and now generative AI. I'm excited to be bringing this course to you along with my awesome co-presenter, Dave.
Thanks, Garth. My name is Dave Trehair, and I am also a CPA. My main focus is personal finance and investing. I've written 6 books on the subject and have been giving courses to CPAs since 2008. My focus now is creating on-demand courses like this one with Garth from my home studio.
Defining generative artificial intelligence. What is generative AI? AI often gets amalgamated into one bundle, but it is important to distinguish between the different types of AI. Let's start with strong AI. Strong AI is a term to describe a certain mindset of artificial intelligence development. Strong AI's goal is to develop artificial intelligence to the point where the machine's intellectual capability is functionally equal to a human's. This is the domain of science fiction, which I am a huge fan of, from Star Trek to Blade Runner, Terminator, and The Matrix, to name a few. In fact, you will later see an homage to both Dave and I's one of our favorite AI science fiction films. Now, this also includes one of my favorite science fiction writers, Isaac Asimov, who wrote the 3 laws of robotics. The first law, a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. The second law, a robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. And the third law of robotics, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. Now, that is science fiction. We don't have strong AI today, but we do have an AI that's going to be next on the branch. In fact, Alan Turing, played by Benedict Cumberbatch in the film The Imitation Game, and widely considered to be the father of theoretical computer science and of modern AI, was concerned about strong AI to the point where he developed a test that is used by practical AI today, and I'll come back to that. So strong AI is not the branch we are talking about with generative AI. So let's go down these branches. The next branch is artificial narrow intelligence, also known as weak AI. That's the AI that exists in our world today. Narrow or weak AI is AI that is programmed to perform a single task, whether it's checking the weather, being able to play chess, or analyzing raw data to write journalistic reports. We have seen this branch in popular culture, such as Garry Kasparov versus IBM's Deep Blue in chess, IBM's Watson's appearance on Jeopardy in 2011. Now, this branch has further branches. The branch of artificial intelligence, and this is applied AI, that brings it out of the lab and into the real world, enabling computers and computer-controlled robots to execute real tasks. Now, from applied AI, we have machine learning and deep learning. So machine learning is the scientific study of algorithms and statistical models that computer systems use in order to perform a specific task effectively without using explicit instructions, relying on patterns and inferences instead. It is seen as a subset of artificial intelligence. And ultimately, what we're talking about are decision trees, very complex decision trees. So examples of machine learning in our everyday lives, well, that includes Netflix, search engines, Google Maps, things that allow us to have an output given the input into a decision tree, like how do I get from A to B. Now, deep learning is the field of artificial intelligence. It's essentially when machines can do tasks that typically require human intelligence. It encompasses machine learning, where machines can learn by experience and acquire skills without human involvement. Deep learning is a subset of artificial intelligence where artificial neural networks, algorithms inspired by the human brain, learn from large amounts of data. Now we're getting closer to generative AI, which again is not strong AI. Examples of deep learning include visual AI like self-driving cars and vocal and facial recognition. These were some ways in which we were widely using AI in terms of Google searches that we didn't know about it, or we were thinking about deep learning, but not everyone has a self-driving car or interacts with vocal or visual deep learning. So it didn't feel very practical. Then came generative AI and woof, we were off to the races. What is generative AI? Well, that refers to a deep learning model. So it's a branch of deep learning that can generate high quality text and images and other content based on data that they were trained on. The word here, one of the key words, is training. Using deep learning in what is called generative adversarial networks, which we'll talk about later on, or GANs, generative AI can learn many things very quickly. Generative adversarial networks are a recent innovation in machine learning. GANs are generative models. They can create new data instances that resemble your training data. GANs work by working through numerous scenarios to learn what is true by running through a generator that tries to fool a discriminator, and thus it learns very quickly what is acceptable and what is not. There are two types of generative AI models, unimodal and multimodal. Unimodal takes instructions from the same input type as their output. Multimodal models can take input from different sources and generate outputs in various forms, as shown in this diagram. Now, this is complicated stuff, but long story short, this innovative and groundbreaking branch of AI, the generative AI branch, can be trained and learn very quickly on things that we did not consider before. Chat GPT, as an example, as a branch of applied AI, including generating art, stories, research, humor, jokes, parables, conversations that appear like they are original human thoughts, human creativity, but they are not strong AI. And it has really entered the public consciousness with Chat GPT, which Dave will take us through. We will discuss the development timeline of generative AIs, including general adversarial networks. But let's get into this in the way most of us entered the generative AI world, through Chat GPT. Take it away, Dave.
Hello everyone, and welcome. In this section, we'll dive into the world of Chat GPT, a powerful AI assistant that can revolutionize the way you work. First off, let's talk about what Chat GPT actually is. GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, and it's a type of artificial intelligence model created by OpenAI. It's designed to understand and generate human-like text based on the data it's been trained on. This makes it incredibly versatile and useful for many tasks, from answering questions to summarizing documents. Imagine having a virtual assistant who can help you with a wide range of tasks, all while you're sipping your morning coffee. That's the power of ChatGPT. ChatGPT is based on a neural network, which is a type of machine learning model inspired by the human brain. It's trained on a vast data set that includes books, websites, and other forms of text. When you interact with ChatGPT, it processes your input and generates a response based on patterns it has learned during its training. Think of it as a very advanced form of pattern recognition. It doesn't understand text the way humans do, but it's incredibly good at mimicking human-like responses. It's important to note that all things related to artificial intelligence, including ChatGPT, are changing at lightning pace. The initial version of ChatGPT was trained on data up to September 2021. However, they announced in early November 2023 that the model would be updated to April 2023.
Thanks, Dave. Now let's go into explore versus exploit, how to approach this transformative technology that is generative AI. I don't know if you've heard of the term FOMO, the fear of missing out. This is a particularly powerful term for me because I often have these feelings across many things, but especially when it comes to something new and something that can really impact my professional career, potentially in my personal life. And I think, wow, am I missing out on something that I should really be engaging with? Are people already ahead of me? And this is definitely a pervasive feeling when it comes to generative AI for a lot of us, especially in the CPA profession. And I want to slow down our FOMO because for us as a profession, we do need to take things slow. And I'll be talking about that in the ethics part of the program. But I also want to relieve some of the stress because when we have this stress, this FOMO, this fear of missing out, we might also lose the ability to see what the options are, what these things can possibly do, and be creative and what's really referred to in creativity, divergent thinkers when it comes to generative AI. So some of these questions that you might have in the exploit mentality would be potentially, should I be enrolling in a detailed coding course on generative AI? Is there a designation that I need to add to my CPA that is generative AI focused? What does this mean for my job security, my job longevity, my job promotion, my salary? Do I know enough? Do I need to study more? Do I need to listen to more podcasts? Do I need to take a course? This is a good course to take, but do I need to take more courses? Am I up to speed on all the generative AI news? I can tell you you're not, because every day there's just thousands of things happening in this space. Can I monetize this or make money off this or improve my life or improve my productivity? Or am I going to be negatively impacted financially by generative AI? And all of these are exploit questions, and they fill up a lot of space in our brain, and they're not unimportant questions. They're important to ask, but if you ask them in the wrong space, they can be stressful and counterproductive. What I'm going to argue, along with another prominent psychologist who also argues the same thing, who works in artificial intelligence, it would be far better for us to be in the explorer, or what she refers to as the beginner's mind when it comes to generative AI. The individual I'm referring to is Dr. Alison Gopnik, is a professor of psychology and philosophy at the University of California, Berkeley, where she runs the Cognitive Development and Learning Lab. She's also the author of over 100 papers and a half dozen books, including The Gardener and the Carpenter and The Philosophical Baby, but The Gardener and the Carpenter is very important for our conversation. She's also worked with high-tech companies to help them develop their AI software, because the AI that we're talking about, generative AI and other AI branches, they also need to work on the explorer versus exploit mentality, which is interesting. She was on a podcast with New York Times' Ezra Klein to discuss the beginner's mind and generative AI. And this conversation was very impactful when I listened to it, because I was going through a lot of FOMO in developing this program and thinking about my relationship as an auditor and what this might mean for my profession, my existing professional knowledge, which I always think about. I have to exploit, I have to deliver training courses, and this was giving me this fear of missing out. Am I not into this deep enough? Do I need to figure out how to really use these tools right now, today, to help me do what I do? But in fact, the way artificial intelligence is trained is how we should approach AI itself. Let me say that again. In fact, the way AI is trained is in fact the way we should approach AI itself. I know that sounds very existential or meta, but Dr. Gopnik describes the way that computer scientists have figured out how to help AI develop quicker, which is to give the system a chance to explore first, give it a chance to figure out all the information, and then once it's got the information, it can go out and then exploit it later on. So explore first, then exploit. Play first, then exploit. This is very much how we are as children. We explore and play. And then later on, as adults, we begin thinking about exploiting the information that we're accumulating. The consequence of playing is that you have this young brain that has a lot of what neuroscientists call plasticity. It can be easily changed, adaptable. That's how children are. They're flexible. They have a lot of divergent thinking. They look at things with many ideas. As adults, we exploit because it's a normal course of development. We have to take all the information we've accumulated and say, now what do I do with this? What field of study am I going to enter into? How am I going to earn a living? What are the next courses of action in my life as I find my independence? So it does make sense at some point to exploit, but if you go into an exploit mindset too soon, if you leave the beginner's mindset, especially in a situation where we have this unprecedented transformative technology where you need plasticity, you need that ability to see options and adapt and change. One, it will cause a tremendous amount of stress, but two, you might enter into things not with the right point of view. You might end up not using the technology correctly, which is a problem for us. And we'll talk about ethics and the ethical challenges of generative AI, but you also might not find it really supporting what you are doing. So even though we're going through this program and we're going to take a deep dive, as Dave is doing, with different ways you can apply AI, we want you to have the beginner's mindset. We want you to feel the FOMO lifting and the stress lifting as you say to yourself, we're still in a place where we can explore this. Generative AI is still relatively new, even though it's increasing in terms of its application. The beginner's mind is an absolutely important one to relieve stress. So what does that actually look like? What does the beginner's mind look like? So as Dave is taking you through different ways to apply generative AI in different software, it's not that you go out tomorrow and do this for your business or for your career. You start to think about ways you can incrementally test this out, not with a goal of earning more money or saving X amount of time, but just with this mindset, this playful mindset. This is going to help us. And if we think about this right now, this technology is moving so quickly. Generative AI today might not be the generative AI tomorrow. So how quickly you want to move into exploit means that information that you're exploiting might have diminishing returns as the next wave of generative AI software comes out. So you want to have this malleable, adaptable, resilient mindset when it comes to generative AI. It is hard because you're going to just feel like I need to know about this particular tool. Every day when it comes to AI, generative AI tools, I learn something new. I see of a new tool that somebody's using. Dave sends me a message. I get a message from social media saying, here's a generative AI tool. Some of it's GPT-4 based, some of it's from some other company. And they're all really interesting, but some of them don't apply to me. But if I think about it from an exploit point of view, I just want to turn off and say, nope, I'm not going to get into this. But that, again, cuts me off from really exploring all of these tools and where it potentially could be helpful or not, but to have that mindset. So as Dave takes you through the next module, AI and document management, try to watch through the beginner's mindset. Try to watch that module through the beginner's mindset. See the possibilities and not be constrained by how do I exploit this, which can create FOMO and stress.
In this section, we'll explore how AI, specifically Chat GPT, can be a game changer in document analysis. One of the most time-consuming tasks in accounting is going through lengthy financial reports, legal documents, or research papers. But what if I told you that Chat GPT could summarize these for you? As of November 2023, you can now upload files directly to Chat GPT. You can upload various file types, including images like JPEG and PNG, text files like PDF and DocX, and audio files like MP3 and WAV. The maximum file size is 20 megabytes in each case. Let's try it out. I'll use this document, Apple's Form 10K Annual Report for the year ended September 30th, 2023. It's 80 pages long with a file size of less than 1 megabyte. I'll start a new chat and upload the annual report by clicking on the file link, and I'll ask, what is this document about? As you can see, it's now analyzing the document. It takes a few minutes, so I'll speed it up. And here's a concise summary of the main topics covered. And you can ask it specific questions. For example, I'll ask, what were the revenues by main product line in 2023? Show the dollar and percentage change from the prior year. And there you go. How about we ask it why sales were lower? I'll ask, why are revenues lower in most cases? And there's the reasons. How about this one? List all the balance sheet items showing the change in value from the prior fiscal year in both dollars and percentages. Show the results in a table format. As you can see, ChatGPT seems to have trouble with my request. It concludes with, there was an error generating a response. That's why it still might make sense to use plugins specially created for PDF analysis. One such plugin is Ask Your PDF. It's a tool that allows you to upload PDF files and other documents to ChatGPT. It offers dynamic conversation and intelligence to let you have a conversational interaction with the PDF document. The plugin seamlessly integrates with ChatGPT, enabling users to interact, understand, navigate, and engage with PDF files and documents. It transforms the PDF's content into an intelligent conversational partner, providing detailed responses and insights about the content and information in the document. In addition to PDFs, you can upload the following types of files: TXT, PPTX, PPT, EPUB, CSV, and RTFs. The plugin is free, but it does have a file size limit allowing you to upload a PDF of a maximum size of 25 megabytes. If you wish to upload a larger file, you'll either need to compress the PDF or split it into separate documents to upload it successfully. Note that you can upgrade your account to increase your limits by paying a fee. I have it installed already, so let's try it out. I'll start a new prompt and click Plugins and select it. As you can see, its icon now shows at the top, meaning that it will be used in the prompt. Let's try it out with the Apple 10K for 2023. To upload a document, I'll enter the prompt, "I'd like to upload a PDF for analysis with Ask Your PDF." As you can see, it answers with a link to Upload Document. I'll click on that, and it takes me to a new tab where I can upload the document. I'll upload the Apple 10K 2023 Annual Report. As you can see, it's now analyzing the document. Now that it's done, I simply click on the copy icon to the right under Document ID and go back to Chat GPT and enter the prompt, "What is this document about?" and paste the document ID. As you can see, it provides a concise summary of the main topics covered with references to the page number for more details, similar to what Chat GPT just did without the plugin. And you can ask specific questions. For example, let's try the one that Chat GPT had difficulties with. List all the balance sheet items showing the change in value from the prior fiscal year in both dollars and percentages. Show the results in a table format. And there you have it. So if you're having any issues with Chat GPT, search for a plugin designed specifically for the task.